Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back, and thank you for joining us. It's Tom and Steve on The Local Show, championing local business. And, I just did what I didn't want to do.
Which was rattle the paper with your notes like you always
rattling,
do?
rattling the papers is no big deal.
Okay.
It's the ah. I do the ah. Why? Why did I do that?
Better than like.
Yeah, right. Or like, yeah.
Or somebody says, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Those little figures of speech where they repeat themselves. Or no, my favorite is,
Yeah.
Tom.
The crutch words, man. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever find yourself doing those during a wedding reception?
No, and I don't talk a lot during the wedding reception. One of my big pitches is we let the music do the talking. And I've said that for years. Because, the last thing you want at your wedding reception is somebody saying, yo, 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 put your hands in the air. That's so 1981.
That was so funny and awful at the same time.
Yeah. How low can you go?
Right, yeah. It's just not a thing anymore. Hey, we've got Lisa Romano Moore with us. She's the executive director of the Onondaga Historical Association. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate that.
Glad to be here.
You guys got a lot going on over there. People can see the site. It's called cnyhistory.org, right?
Correct.
cnyhistory.org.
So what's new at being old?
Yeah.
What's new at being old? Well, we bring the old back to life. In October 8th and 9th, we're going to have our ghost walks at Oakwood Cemetery, always popular. And
that sounds scary.
It's not. It's actually during daylight because we don't want anybody tripping and falling. And,
right.
And our ghosts are hard to see at night. So basically what we do is we have people portraying actors portraying people from history.
Oh, right. That's kind of neat.
Near grave sites that are connected to that story. Either the person themselves or the family, like
streets that we.
So you're actually learning,
correct? Which I like better.
Sure.
So streets in Syracuse.
Yes.
Well, if it's South Krause Ave, here's Krause. Well, this is
Krause,
I don't know. I'm making that up.
Yeah.
Or things like that.
Yeah.
This was a person, and that's why they did it.
Samuel May. So you have May Memorial Church.
Okay.
We've got some really wonderful.
Can you name a couple others that I don't want to put you on the spot?
Oh gosh,
Wilkinson.
Wilkinson was the first postmaster of Syracuse. Oh my gosh!
It's funny. It's like
Montgomery was a general. The street that we're on.
Nice,
but it's
DeWitt.
fun.
DeWitt Street.
Look at you railing it in. When we were in Boston on one of my many vacations this year, Tom,
and there were a lot.
There was a Sam Adams grave.
Oh, right.
Which I found very interesting.
Yeah.
And you want to read him? Tell me more. And I know the name, and I know he was a signer of the guy. But yes, and there's the beer.
Sure.
But it's interesting historical.
We just did a thing about Solar Street, which isn't named for someone, but named for salt production. We did a huge project with the city school district. All fourth graders in the city schools came and learned about salt. But, a lot of kids don't know why we're called the Salt City. You don't really see much about salt making as much as...
Right. Is the museum down... I call it a museum because that's kind of what it is. Downtown at Columbus. Can I say Columbus Circle? Did I offend somebody?
It's actually St. Mary's Circle. But, it's renamed Columbus Circle because of the statue.
Okay. You say so. So right there is where the big building is.
Yes, right in the middle of the block. We're kitty corner from YMCA. The museum is open to the public Wednesdays through Saturday. Or Sunday, I should say. And then we have a research center if people want to come and do genealogical research or look up things about their home, their neighborhood, their business, their grandma and grandpa.
Oh, nice.
Wednesdays through Saturday.
50 years ago, that was the library. What was that?
No, you're thinking of Carnegie Library.
Okay, so what was that building?
Our building was the main switchboard for the Northeast in the early 1900s.
For like Bell Telephone?
Bell Telephone, yeah. You can still find the switching equipment in our basement, and
That's neat.
And the reason it works for us is all that equipment, was pretty heavy. When you have archives and materials and, Gambrinus, who's about 3,000 pounds.
Wow.
You need floor loads that can hold all of that. The building actually works really well for us because of that.
And as I found out the last time we spoke, there are different locations, mini museums, if you will. Name some of the others where people can see things.
Yep. So we have staff at the Scano Great Law of Peace Center. Many people remember it as the French Fort or Ste. Marie among the Iroquois. We have the Bruseum up at Heritage Hill. That's our newest museum. But we also provide the information and the displays at the airport with our aviation history
museum.
Favorite
museum. That's my favorite.
Yes,
it's a little hard to find because it's behind the waterfall there.
And I'll brag, just when you see the little old lady playing the organ, that's my mom. Go behind mom.
Yeah.
And it's very spacious back there. There's a lot of...
It's huge,
You don't realize it. It's kind of hiding under there.
Yeah.
But it's amazing.
Yeah, we've got some great stuff.
Right.
And then we provide all of the displays and uniforms and materials at the War Memorial. Those are from our collection as well. We have an incredible clothing collection of not just military, but clothing from the turn of the century, Revolutionary War era. I mean, it's really
excellent,
pretty amazing stuff.
Would I be putting you on the spot if I asked you to maybe identify a hidden gem, maybe something that people don't know about this area, history, that, people go, well, wow, I didn't know we were famous for that, or that existed?
I think, that some of the manufacturing things, the things that were made here, everybody, well, I don't know that you get that kind of service anymore, but when you were a kid and you went and got your new shoes for school, your foot was measured on this funky metal thing that was sort of, about a foot long.
Yes.
And you'd put your foot on it. It's called a Brannock device. Yep. Charles Brannock developed it here in Syracuse. And as a product of his work, he left a tremendous fortune. He actually left the funding to the Central New York Community Foundation, and it continues to support this community to this day. Yeah. So, a lot of the things that were manufactured here, the serrated knife was invented here.
Really? I didn't know that.
The dentist chair.
The sound movie camera.
The sound movie camera.
Was in our old building, Tom.
Yeah, I remember that.
We were over there. That's where that was patented and done, right?
You've got Marcellus Casket, which was in this neck of the woods.
How about the typewriter people?
Typewriter, L.C. Smith.
Oh, L.C. Smith, yes.
And that was actually probably our earliest collection at OHA. Okay. We have a tremendous number of typewriters, some in foreign languages. There's a guy in Korea or Japan that keeps writing us and asking us if he can have that typewriter, and we're like, no.
Interesting.
Probably the most interesting thing that we have, which we actually don't possess right now because it's on loan, is everybody knows that picture of Frederick Douglass, the famous, that stern face, most photographed man in history for his time.
Interesting.
And the original daguerreotype, which is a plate. Okay. It's not like a film like you and I know. Is ours. It was given to us, and it's been in our collection for over a century.
Incredible.
And it is now on display at the Smithsonian, at the National Portrait Gallery.
I'd be nervous moving that. Like, it's in the car. I don't know, Tom.
Well, you don't just send it FedEx. You have some people come and praise it, and it's pretty amazing.
Last 20 seconds or so, do you see any major changes coming along, like with new technology in the way that you display things, or is it pretty much the same history type stuff?
Yeah, we actually were about to develop an app that people can utilize to enjoy history both in our building but at some of our sites. And we'll be releasing that probably this coming year.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. That's Lisa Romano Moore, Executive Director of the Onondaga Historical Association. Thank you for all you do.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and have a great rest of the day. Kicking off hour number 2 of the local show, we're going to have a conversation with Josh Ling. He's the pastor at Redeemer Church in Syracuse. Jennifer Covert stops by, Executive Director of North Area Meals on Wheels. And then we'll wrap things up with Joe Bright, owner of Duncan Bright Furniture. Stick around. Hour number 2 of the local show starts really soon.